What's up everybody, and welcome to How to Wheelie on a BMX Bike Like a Pro tutorial part 2. So y'all remember part 1 that I did that got over 180,000 views? That tells me that I should make a part 2, and I've finally made it, this time ditching the flip-flops and getting some actual footwear. And everything that there needs to be is actually here. We still have the basketballers hammering their rock-hard balls against the similarly hard concrete. So let's get right into it. So before I actually explain to you the procedure, I want to explain to you what a wheelie really is and how it works. And trust me, that will really help you do wheelies yourself. So here we go. Here you have the rear wheel, and on any wheelie, whether it is on a motorcycle, on a bike, on a boat, the source of power or torque always comes from the rear. So you're really pedaling really hard on those pedals, and that's pushing the rear wheel really hard forward. And that'll take weight off of the front end of the bike, meaning that it'll be much easier for you to lift the front end and just keep going like that. Similar to how you see the front end of a really fast boat hopping along the water. Because the source of power is in the rear, and more specifically, it's in the bottom rear. So this is what it looks like on a bike. Now on BMX bikes, your handlebars are typically much higher, and you basically don't even have a seat, like it doesn't exist. So here is how this should look like. So first you need to give power to the rear end of the bike, but at the same time you also need to help the front of the bike go up by pulling the handlebars up to your chest, or just trying to get that up as much as you can. Typically BMX bikes are really light, so this shouldn't be hard. So let's get into some of the safety. Now I know most of you don't really like what this is. If you're a beginner, I recommend wearing knee pads or maybe ankle pads. In terms of helmets, I say you don't really need a helmet because, come on, like, are you really gonna be falling on your head? But in any case, wearing a helmet is kind of your choice. Same thing with knee pads, although I definitely do recommend wearing knee pads and ankle pads for this safety procedure that I am going to show you. Or more specifically, you need knee pads if you don't do that procedure. What I'm showing you is called a leap out. A leap out, or a loop out, whatever you call it, is simply where you do a wheelie and you go too high, meaning you have to hop off the bike. Otherwise, you're just going to fall on your back and on your ankles, which is not fun. Let me show you a few demonstrations in slow motion of a leap out. As you can see there, I simply just hopped off the pedals and firmly landed on my feet, holding my bike firmly into my arms so it doesn't escape from the momentum. And that is called the leap out. To be more confident, you can think of your legs as springs so you can land much more comfortably. As you can see, what I did there is I pedaled hard on my pedals and adjacently lifted up my handlebars to my chest and kind of controlled my balance and moved my body around so that I can find that balance point. Now this next part is pretty important, so I don't recommend skipping it. I think you should all practice it. When you're doing a wheelie on a BMX, you should always be as relaxed as possible. If you're going to be a solid object, then you're either always going to just fall back down because your weight is not in the right place, or you're just gonna go out in a leap out. Now, being relaxed on your bike means that you're like spaghetti. You can easily move your body around. You can kind of pivot your bike wherever you need to, so that you can adjust your weight so that it falls perfectly right about where your axle right here is. And that will really help you do your wheelie. You can also go back a bit farther to do higher wheelies, but you will need some practice to do that because you will need to practice doing leap outs before you can go really high like that. Also remember this, if you're not quite getting it, on a BMX you have much higher handlebars and basically no seat. The handlebars, they are very far away from the top tube. I'm comparing this to like a mountain bike, for example, which is why some people say that doing a wheelie on a mountain bike is easier because you can actually just sit down on a seat and go up, and that won't take much effort. On a BMX, you'll have to pedal harder and you'll have to push up harder, which is why I think BMXs are actually a bit more fun in that case. Also, another thing about keeping your balance on the bike. You saw when I'm doing a wheelie, I'm actually pivoting to one side very commonly, and that is just because I'm accidentally turning the steering wheel to the left, for example, and obviously my bike will want to lean to the left and I automatically come down. Now, a good exercise for this, so this won't happen, which it almost always happens for me, is when you're on the bike, you want to imagine a thick red line right in front of you on the ground that you want to follow, or that your handlebars want to be perpendicular to, so that you will not lean to one side or another. Alright guys, that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Where am I going? Cool fakie here. I hope you guys like this short tutorial because I sure did making it. I pretty much think I said everything, but if you have any questions or if something is working for you, or if you just want to let me know in the comments, then please feel free to just go down in the comment section and write whatever you like, because I sometimes usually do respond to them, hopefully. I feel like when people walk by, they walk like really, really slow, as if they're in slow motion. Or maybe just, I feel like that because like it took them 1 minute to walk 15 meters. All right, that is it, guys. If you did not watch part 1 of the How to Wheelie series, not really series, then make sure you go up here or up here, maybe down in the description, of course. I will have a link there to the original part 1, which actually got over 180,000 views. Also, a very similar video that you'll all like is I did actually make a how-to manual on BMX video quite recently. Not really, 6 months ago, so go up here, down there somewhere, and check out that how-to manual video, because it actually really relates to a wheelie, and it will actually help you do a wheelie, and it'll be really cool if you could do both, a manual and a wheelie. Make sure you guys subscribe, please do, smash that like button. I'm trying to get this video really popular again, so leave your comments down below what you think. Bye.